Welcome to MMA on the Rocks. My name is Bill Welker, and you are listening to Picks and Pours, episode 80, if you believe we made it that far. Today is Thursday, March 26th. Spring is just flying by, already starting to feel a little like summer here in Florida. And we've got some interesting MMA action coming up next week. UFC Fight Night 271 in Seattle, Washington. Before we get into any of that, let me introduce Matt the Mechanic. What's going on, Matt?
Not much, Bill. I'm thinking about taking up oil prospecting.
All right, that's an interesting career choice.
With the gas prices, I figure, what the hell?
Yeah, you might as well get on the inside.
I'll be down in Texas in a couple of weeks. I'll see what I can figure out.
I'm pretty happy to own a hybrid car at this point.
I mean, how much do you charge it? I mean,
it charges itself.
Oh,
The motor charges with the brake. Yeah, so I don't plug it into anything.
How much gas? What gas mileage you get?
I get like 40 miles to the gallon.
Okay.
I fill it up like every 2.5 weeks, I'd say. But I drive a lot.
Do you drive a lot?
Yeah.
40 miles is pretty good, especially if you're getting that like around Pinellas County.
Yeah. Yeah, because I do a lot of local driving. Back and forth to Tampa a few days a week, but a lot of back and forth to the gym. And
yeah, 40 miles a gallon. I don't know if that's worth sacrificing your manhood, but
I'll sacrifice it. I think my beard's starting to fall out.
Oh no.
I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable with it. I'll take the
It looks like it's a nice truck. I saw it last week. It's not terrible.
I like it. I mean,
it's a new vehicle, so what's not to like?
Yeah, and it serves every purpose I need. So I'm fine with
bust your balls.
I'm fine with being a little emasculated driving around my Ford Maverick.
It's not the Maverick part, it's the hybrid part.
Yeah, but look at the gas prices now. I'm sitting pretty.
Like I said, I don't know if it's worth your manhood, but what do I know? I don't know anything about electric cars.
My manhood is worth very little.
We breeze right over that. I make my living working on electric cars, so
yeah, I'm sure. Like, what percentage of them are electric now?
Of what? Cars I work on, or just cars?
Yeah,
100%.
Oh, because you do all the electronical problems, right?
I do all the batteries. I'm doing all the battery work right now, so that's all I do is I charge little batteries and put them into bigger batteries.
I remember when Priuses first became a thing, I was still in the fire department in New York, and we had to have meetings about, like, if there was a car crash with a Prius, there was a potential for the whole car to be live, so we couldn't use the jaws of life on it to cut somebody out. We had to wait for like somebody from Toyota to come and confirm that the battery was not live.
So now there's like a federal mandate on that there needs to be there's two places in the car that firefighters can disarm it very quickly. But I don't think that's very fast. At least on the cars I work on, it's not. In the heat of the moment, it would be very hard because it's like pulling a fuse, and you have to like remove a couple panels.
Yeah, because in the old Priuses, the battery was in the trunk, I believe, and then it ran a live line underneath the car to the motor.
Well, the ones I'm working on are all fully electric. So the battery is the entire bottom of the car. It weighs like 2,000 pounds. It's probably 10 times the size of that Prius battery. I've seen some videos of them. When they go up, and there's not much you can do.
Jeez.
I think the only thing you can do is completely submerge them in water.
Well, it doesn't help if there's somebody in it.
Oh, no. But, I mean, I've only heard of 2 instances of fires, and they both happened in the shop.
Oh, okay.
Well, which wasn't good for that shop because they burned down. But, yeah.
Well, sucks for them.
And I don't know why I said water. I didn't mean water. I mean completely wrap it in a chemical foam or a blanket that just totally extinguishes the fire. But
Oh, okay.
I know from the training I had, it's better to inform the firefighters to just make sure everything's out of the way and just kind of let it go.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I guess worry about cutting somebody out of it another way. Just break the window or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad I fix them. I don't deal with ones that are on fire.
Yeah. Well, anyway, starting off
Hey,
with a depressing note.
hey, I'm 9-1. I know. I didn't make public picks last week, but I did send you picks, and
You did.
I was 4-1 on those, and the week before that I went 5-0. So
You're on a hell of a hot streak. And
yeah,
yeah, I do have that message time stamped. So if anyone's questioning it, which one did you get wrong last week?
um,
I assume you got Avloyev right.
no, I got Leroy Murphy wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, Avloyev winning over decision over Leroy Murphy was not a huge shock.
Yeah, thought it would be a decision the other way, but it is
Yeah,
what it is. 90%, I'll take it.
it doesn't seem like it was a super exciting card aside from the 28-second knockout of Austin Lane
Yeah,
on the
that
main
guy's gonna
card.
be awesome. Michael Page, that was ridiculous. Did you watch it?
No,
That might beat Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis.
really, that bad?
Yeah, I mean it's just Sam Patterson is a guy that Michael Page brings into all of his camps, so they're friends.
Oh, so he didn't want to hurt him.
So they just kind of no. Sam Patterson like basically showed how to avoid Michael Page. I mean, I think the fight could have went the other way. Um, I think that really no one should have won that fight. That was ridiculous. I
Mm.
think through the first 2 rounds, there was only 4 strikes.
Let's just get MVP versus Chimaev.
No. Chimaev has got other business.
All right, after that's over, let's get MVP versus Chimaev.
Yeah, I'll be okay with once Chimaev loses to Sean Strickland. Let's get MVP in there.
You think Chimaev is going to lose to Sean Strickland?
Absolutely.
I don't know about that one. We might have to do a little side bet when the time
I'll
comes.
do a real bet on that one.
All right. I don't like your chances.
Hmm.
So I guess nothing else we really need to talk about last week's card, right?
No, I mean Luke Riley, he's a very big prospect. He won a decision. He kind of lost some stock in that fight. But yeah, other than that,
It
not much.
happens. He's still getting his sea legs.
All right, on to this week.
Um, yeah. Well, first, let's talk about a little whiskey.
Oh,
So you helped me out at my new business last week, and I paid you in booze. Thanks again for that,
no
by the way.
problem. I kind of did some carrying and got the hell out of there. When I saw it, I was like, all right, the brooms are about to come out. I'm out of here.
You didn't want to stick around for the sweep up?
No, I had to actually run over to Tampa. I had another comedy show to attend. We went and saw Are You Garbage? I don't know if you're familiar with those group of gentlemen. And surprisingly,
Yeah.
they're shooting a Netflix special. So we arrived
That
to a full-blown camera crew in that small room at Side Splitters.
they were shooting it that night?
Well, so the way their show works is they bring out 2 openers, and then one of the hosts, Kevin, and I forget the other guy's name, they each do 20 minutes, and then when you arrive, there's a QR code that you scan, and you kinda answer some questions. Because if you're familiar with their show, it's like basically a reiteration of You Might Be a Redneck from the '90s. So you answer
Okay.
some questions, what kind of car, all this shit, and then at the end, they come out for about 40 minutes, and they interrogate the crowd to determine whether or not they're garbage or not.
Oh,
So they're
okay.
on a tour and they're dragging this RV with about, I don't know, 25 Netflix employees around the country. And they're kind
Wow.
of, you know, we all had to sign a disclaimer, or I don't know what I signed. I signed my Netflix owns me now. But then
Okay.
anybody that,
Property of
but
Netflix.
yeah, but then anybody who got in, like seriously interviewed at the end, they came out with a stack of papers like this. And I saw them.
Oh, geez. They can't do that digitally now?
I don't know. It was kind of like the person in front of me got interrogated, and like they brought the bill, and it was like the bill and then a stack of paperwork. I'm like, I am not signing all that shit.
Wow. Way to conserve the trees,
Yeah.
Netflix.
But it was interesting
Just
because I
put
mean,
that shit on an
I bet they had
iPad.
half of the crowd wasn't there because they had the cameras on the rails move, and
Uh-huh.
every time like someone was talking, the whole like I mean, 8 different cameras would turn around and all point at this person. I was like shitting my pants, like hopefully they don't call me.
So not to spoil the special for everyone, but I assume the Tampa crowd was determined to be
Nah,
garbage.
that they screwed up because everybody that they interviewed, they must have picked all Subaru owners because they ask the car, and the Subaru crowd was just sucked. They sucked. 2 of them didn't know the show, so they didn't. I mean, it didn't work. Like the one guy there, he's like, "Oh, what do you do?" He's like, "Oh, I run I have a roof. I'm in roofing," and they're like, "Oh, well, what do you do in the roofing?" He's like, "I own the roofing company." How many roofs do you do? He's like, "Oh, I do 10 million a quarter." And it's like they're trying to determine if this guy's garbage or not. And he's like this millionaire. They're like, "Well, what the fuck are you doing here, man?" Like, my son just picked a comedy show to come on our vacation. So I don't think I'll be
Okay.
in that special because it wasn't very good.
Well, here's
Well,
hoping.
I guess I should give a caveat. Their stand up was very funny. The show just kind of went off the rails because if you want to talk to some funny Floridians, you should not pick Subaru owners.
Yeah.
Like I thought my buddy Steven was a layup. He drives a 92 Accord.
All right.
All right, let's on to some fights. I'd say
Well,
it's like this is like a what a oh yeah, you want to drink this booze.
yeah.
So what'd you get me?
Try it and I'll tell you.
That's pretty good.
This is one of my favorites right now. This is Old Forester 1924. So it's 100 proof. 10-year-old bourbon whiskey. This is a seasonal release, so it comes out once a year. And this is like the 100th anniversary of them making this bourbon. So I was able to grab a bottle of this from, I think, Total Wine. And I was really happy when I found it because I tried it at like a bar recently, or maybe a few months ago, and I'd been searching for it ever since. And then I walked in to Total Wine, and there it was on the shelf. I'm a big fan of Old Forester. You can see I got a couple.
Yeah, Old
Behind
Forester's
me
the
here.
shit.
Yeah, I really love Old Forester, and this one might be my favorite. It's up there with with their single barrel, which is also a seasonal release. But yeah, this 1924 just hits all the right notes for me. If you come across it, um, those of you listening out there that are really into whiskey, retails for about $90. You'll probably see it for a lot higher than that. In which case I would say don't buy it. But if you see it at a bar, like a good whiskey bar, definitely give it a little sample. It's 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 real different. I mean, it's got all the classic bourbon notes, but it's got just a different kind of brown sugar sweetness to it. It's got that Old Forester flavor profile that you come to expect from all their stuff, but it's just kind of heightened, in my opinion, and I really like it.
That's pretty good. I will add that to my list. I don't really not open to spending $90 on a bottle, but you know, maybe if I need to buy a wedding gift or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No, not a wedding gift because nobody I know is going to get married and knows anything about it. It's gonna be like, "You cheap shit. Why didn't you get me Buffalo Trace?"
Yeah. Yeah, just get them the Buffalo Trace. It's easy enough to
Speaking
find
of
now.
Buffalo Trace, I could have to ask you after this, but I got a friend that's getting ready to do the Bourbon Trail, and he's, like, obviously really excited, and Buffalo Trace is, like, what he's looking forward to. But do you have any, like, if you could suggest one other one?
Well, it depends where he's going because
Well, I mean,
Buffalo Trace.
I know he's going to wherever Buffalo Trace is.
Yeah, so that one is kind of like off the trail. Um, but if he's going to Louisville, um, so Buffalo Trace is in Franklin County, which is kind of like northeast Kentucky,
Mhm.
and it's pretty much an hour away from the other two hotspots, which are Louisville and Bardstown. If I had to choose to go back, I would definitely go back to Bardstown.
Okay. I think that's what you would say, but
Yeah, I mean Bardstown Bourbon Company was my favorite.
now
Limestone Branch was
are you talking
excellent.
about the solely the whiskey or the
Yeah, so
experience?
Bardstown is the city, and there's a bunch of distilleries there. Like Maker's Mark is pretty close to there. Limestone Branch is there. Lux Row is there. Those are all some of my favorites. Louisville is nice, but Louisville is more commercialized. Like the distilleries were put in there for tours
Yeah,
specifically,
it's like
and
Dollywood.
they're kind of cookie cutter. I mean, they're fun. Old Forester is there in Louisville. Angel's Envy is there. Michter's, Peerless. But I would say if he's going to do a really good bourbon trail experience, go to Bardstown.
Okay, I'll pass it along.
Yeah. All right. I guess we could talk some MMA
Let's
on
do
this
it.
on this MMA podcast. All right. So is Abdul Malik and Belgarui the first fight on the main card?
No, it's Terrence.
Terrence McKinney and Kyle Nelson. This is a fun fight. Terrence McKinney is super exciting for the first 45 seconds. Coming off of a submission loss to Chris Duncan. Before that, 2 wins in a row. And let's see what Kyle Nelson's been up to lately.
He just won a decision, I think.
Oh, yeah, over Matt Frivola, our buddy.
Yeah.
And that was back in October. So, yeah, I would put Kyle Nelson as a slight favorite here.
No. Terrence McKinney's a minus 175.
Okay.
And
All right.
I'm gonna go with the athleticism of Terrence. I mean, the longer the fight goes, obviously Kyle Nelson's looking better and better, but I mean, this would be if I was doing prop bets right now, I'd probably take Terrence first round knockout. But
What are the odds on that?
mm, first round, well, round end method, it's plus 215. It's
Yeah.
not that great. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stick with
I
Terrence
mean,
McKinney.
he's got that equalizer power. I mean, we saw that against Matt Frivola as well, common opponent between these two. All right, so Terrence McKinney to win straight up.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes past the first round, I would say just already write Kyle Nelson down as the winner. All right, Mansour Abdul Malik against Yausri Belgarui. Belgarui? Well, whatever. 9-0 Abdul Malik. 9-0-1 to be exact against 9-3 Belgori. So Abdul Malik has to be a big favorite here.
This is a pick'em fight.
Wow. All right.
Because what's his name is I mean, it's not pick'em. Abdul Malik is -122, but it might as well be. But the Belguri is a kickboxer that's been fighting with Piera forever.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't have very much MMA experience, and he lost some of his early fights. But this guy's he has the experience in this fight,
Yeah.
opposite the athleticism of Abdul Malik. So
Yeah.
I'm taking the exact opposite of the way I bet last fight.
Abdul Malik has finished every single one of his fights except for the draw against Cody Brundage. And it was ruled a draw because it was overturned for some reason. I don't remember what happened there.
I think
But
I think Abdul Malik got the decision, and Brundage won the whatever you call that.
draw?
No, he won like the appeal. That's the word.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still on his record as a draw. But all right, who are we picking?
I already told you I'm taking
Belgori.
Belguri.
All right, fair enough. All right. Season 22 of The Ultimate Fighter, veteran Julian Erosa against Larion Douglas. So Julian Erosa is a guy who's got so much experience. Larion Douglas, champion in other organizations, 5-fight win streak. This is his first official fight in the UFC after having a 36-second knockout on a contender series. And Julian Erosa coming off of a decision loss to Mizkael Costa. Before that, 3-fight win streak. He was on the season of The Ultimate Fighter with our buddy Billy Quarantello. So I would say the experience of Julian Erosa would give him a slight edge, but obviously I'm not great at picking odds, so you let me know
No,
what they are.
Larian is Douglas is a -340 favorite,
Wow.
opposite +270. I'm really excited to see Douglas in the UFC. He's the best guy to watch in LFA, and
Mm-hmm.
we make sure to watch him. Exciting striker. This is like another prop knockout bet, but I don't think the odds are going to be very good.
Okay.
I will look it up.
So you
It's
think first
plus.
round knockout for Larion
It might
Douglas?
not be, maybe not first round, but okay. Here's a good knockout is -330.
Wow.
Like this guy just you haven't if you get bored, man, pull up
Here,
some of his fights.
here's the thing about Julian though, is he wins the fights that he's supposed to lose. Right?
This would be the one.
That's just kind of his MO. Like, I'm trying to think what was the one. Oh, when he fought Charles Jourdain, that was when Charles Jourdain was like really coming up fast. And he was supposed to lose that one, and it was a tough fight, but he submitted him in the third round.
How long ago was that?
That was in 2021. He also beat Nate Landwehr when Nate Landwehr had had a pretty hot streak going, knocked him out with a flying knee. Nate the Train, baby.
I mean, it's possible, but you're not convincing me to change my bet on this one.
No, I don't want to convince you anyway, because whenever I do that, it never works out. So keep your bet. Plus, you're the one on a hot streak right now, so we're gonna go with your intuition. All right, good grappling matchup here. Michael Chiesa and Nico Price. Chiesa, got to be close to heading out to pasture here.
This is his retirement fight.
Yeah. All right. So 3-fight win streak. Pretty good win streak, too. Court McGee, Max Griffin, Tony Ferguson. Hasn't been super active. Hasn't fought since June of last year. And Nico Price hasn't been very active lately either. 3-fight losing streak. Has lost 5 of his last 6. Coming off of a knockout loss to Nikolay Veretenikov. That was in February. Oh, that was in February of this year. Okay. I don't even remember Nico fighting that recently. But all right. So coming off a knockout loss last month going into this fight, I imagine Chiesa is a big favorite.
Yeah, but that's still, I don't understand this because Michael Chiesa is a minus 800 favorite.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's on a 3-fight win streak. He's well rested. Nico Price just got knocked out last month, and he's lost 5 of his last 6.
Yeah, this fight was supposed to be just Michael versus Charleston Harris, but he dropped
Okay.
out this week, and they put Nico in there. You
Yeah,
know,
I see why the odds are like
yeah,
that.
but see, here's the thing. I'm trying to keep my record high, but I hate putting $1 on a minus 800.
Yeah, but do you want to lose that dollar altogether?
Yeah, you're right. We're going for the no, but I was
I mean,
going,
anything can happen. I mean, Nico's a good fighter. He's unorthodox. He does some weird things.
and I don't. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but Michael hasn't been just blowing the doors off of everything. He's focused on his commentating career. I mean, he's made this his retirement fight. I would
Yeah,
tend to think he would be very prepared, but when you call out your retirement fight, it doesn't seem to go your way that much.
that's true.
Yep. So I'm going to stick with my original pick of Nico Price.
Do it. Oh, excuse me. All right, Nico Price. All right, co-main event: former champ Alexa Grasso versus Macy Barber. We don't have to spend a ton of time on this one. Alexa Grasso, two straight losses, including losing the title back to Valentina Shevchenko in September 2024, and then lost a unanimous decision to Natalia Silva in May of last year. So it's been almost a year since she's fought. Macy Barber on quite a win streak, 3, 4, 5, 7-fight win streak. Her last loss was to, you guessed it, Alexa Grasso in February 2021. So Grasso probably the favorite here,
Grasso? No, Macy Barber's a minus 185.
even though she has a loss to the same girl. I don't understand how these odds work.
Well, the odds work on the bets that are coming in, and they
Oh,
they
okay.
form it. If more money comes in for Macy, then that's how the odds work. And I'm
All right.
going to go with the odds here. I'm going to bet with your favorite female fighter, Macy Barber. I think she's on a streak.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a dog in that race. All right, main event. I
I've got a
like this.
problem with her.
Huh?
You've always had disliked her.
Oh, she declined to come on the podcast when she was a nobody.
Well, now you're still nobody, and she's
Yeah.
probably like the second or third most popular female fighter. So I guess she probably did all right, I guess.
Yeah. So I'm a bitter nobody. All right.
Bitter. You just hold grudges.
Not really. I don't have like an active hate for her or anything. I just, I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
The opposite
Okay.
of love is not hate, it's indifference.
The main event I have not picked yet. I have not made up my mind yet.
Well, let's take a look here. So we got Adesanya, who is on a 3-fight losing streak, lost 4 of his last 5. His last win was against Alex Pereira in April of 2023. Since then, he lost to Sean Strickland, Dricus du Plessis, and Nasruddin Imavov, which was a little over a year ago in February 2025. Joe Pyfer had his first loss to Jack Hermanson in February 2024, so a little over 2 years ago. And since then, he's been on a 3-fight win streak, including Marc-Andre Barriault, Kevin Gastelum, and Abusipian Magomedov, who he defeated with a face crank. Look, if this fight took place 5 years ago, I would say Adesanya would be like a minus 1,800 favorite or something like that. But he's had some personal problems and just hasn't seemed to be fully committed to the sport, I guess.
He seems to have had a broken nose recently too, because his nose is crooked.
Well, probably from sparring with Dan Hooker. 36 years old, but I mean, he's got a lot of miles with however, I don't know, what do you have, like 98 kickboxing fights or something?
Yeah, a lot.
Something, a lot. Let's call it 98. Um, I think skill for skill, Adesanya is better everywhere except in the punching power department. But that's going off Adesanya in his prime. Um, Joe Pyfer is just younger, stronger. I think if he's able to touch Adesanya, it's gonna be a problem. But it kind of depends on what kind of strategy Adesanya comes in with. Like if he comes in with like a stick and move strategy and he sticks with it for 5 rounds and he doesn't get touched too hard by Pyfer, then he could probably get a late TKO or a decision. But he's gonna have to avoid that punching power of Joe Pyfer for 25 minutes. So
Yeah, I mean,
it's up to you.
the problem with Pyfer is he seems to like once he lands one, he's just tunnel vision to like he just tunnel vision to the wants to get the knockout. Who would he do that? It was really evident in one of his recent fights.
Was it Gastelum?
I think it was. I think he landed one on Goslin and just like he ended up pulling out the decision. Man, he's got the win over Goslin, who has like the most equal fight against Izzy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean that's an all-time classic. Gastelum and Adesanya.
I think I'm just gonna have to go with him. I mean, I never thought I'd pick Joe Pyfer to beat Israel Adesanya, but I'm going to do that this week.
Hey, that's the stage of the game we're at. I mean, if it were my dollar, I'd probably put it on Joe Pyfer too, but I would
Man.
I would like to see Adesanya go out on a win. I mean, he's had an amazing career. He's probably, getting pretty close to the end also. Um, I think a fourth loss in a row might force him to think about retirement unless there's some kind of super fight available for him. Somebody that's not like a contender anymore. But yeah, I think it's probably a must win for Adesanya.
I mean, I guess I agree with you. I wouldn't agree with you, but he's been so inactive that nobody's talking about him anymore. Like he had like lightning in a bottle with his walkouts and all that stuff. I just don't know what. I mean, I know he got big into buying real estate, so maybe that's what he's focusing on.
Yeah, it could be. Well, anyway, dollar goes to Joe Pyfer. Body bags Pyfer. Body bag spelled with a Z, by the way, for anybody who's wondering. All right, pretty solid picks. Undercard, I always like watching Ignacio Bahamondes fight. He's on the prelims here against Tafik Musayev. Your boy Chase Hooper is on the prelims against Lance Gibson Jr.
Really?
Marcin Tabora on the prelims here against Tyrell Fortune. And then Ricky Simone and Adrian Yanez, which I think is a really great fight, is the second fight on the prelims. So pretty interesting preliminary card here, actually.
Yeah, this will be a fun one to tune in. What do we have? A 5 p.m., 8 p.m. main card?
Yeah, that's right in my sweet spot.
Yeah.
So
then we have a kind of a stinker card next week, but then I think we have like card of the year the following week. But we'll talk about that when we get to it.
So the following week is Yuri Prohaska versus Carlos Ulberg.
Yeah, that's like not name recognition, but if you start looking down the card, man, there are some crazy fights.
That's a great fight, Prohaska versus Olberg.
I'm really looking forward to the Curtis Blades Josh Holkick fight.
Okay,
You know who Holkick is, right?
remind me.
He's that heavyweight that started saying, like, he fought a couple months ago and says all that weird shit. He was like what was he? He was just talking mad shit in the cage. It went viral. When you see him, you pull a picture of him and be like, "Oh, that idiot." I mean, he really said some weird shit. But I was looking into his history, man. He got drafted by 2 NFL teams. He was a state wrestling champ. Was a fullback in.
Okay, yeah, this guy.
This guy is athletic, and it said something if they took him from first fight in the UFC to now Curtis Blades.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
says something. And also, Beneil Dariush will be fighting to be announced.
yeah, remember he said first man Michelle Obama. He says all that crazy shit, but he was drafted by the Cardinals, and then they dropped him, but then signed to the 49ers.
The prelims of this card are phenomenal.
Yeah, this card is awesome.
Wow. Kelvin Gastelum and Vicente Luque is the second fight of the prelims. Nate Landwehr, Cub Swanson, Aaron Pico versus Patricio Pitbull. That's going to be a loser leaves town on that one. Tatiana Suarez and Lupi Godinez.
Yeah, there's some really nice fights on here.
Paulo Costa's on the prelims. Damn, Mateusz Gamrot. Yeah, this is a great card. All right. What do we got for news?
Well, everybody's just talking negative about the UFC, and I did that last time, and I don't even want to talk about it. But since we did a show, a pretty interesting fight got added to the uh, Ronda Rousey card on Netflix of Nate Diaz versus Mike Perry.
Yeah, that's a fun one. That's gonna bring a lot of views for sure.
That's huge. And the other thing is, I saw Dana got asked about it. He's like, it makes perfect sense for Nate to do that, to take that fight. He was like, we talked about it before, and I have no problem with it. You know, then they asked, could he ever come back to the UFC? He's like, well, that just totally depends on how he looks in this fight, which is true. I mean,
yeah.
But this fight, I mean, I hope Netflix knows how to promote this, because this fight is the one that'll make this card huge.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's gimmicky, and I had made a post, like a joke on an Instagram about this card, and I said it's got more star power than the White House card, and I stand by that. I think it does. I mean, Nate Diaz is one of the biggest stars in the history of the sport. Now, saying that it has more name value or star power is not to say that the fights will be better quality than the White House card, because
Well, correct, but it goes back to what I was talking about, is they just made a fun card.
yeah, I wouldn't say that the fights are going to be better than the fights that are booked for the White House card, but I think it's definitely going to pique the interest of the casual fans a little bit more.
Yeah, as long as they promote it right.
Yeah, I don't know if they really have to.
Then the full card also came out. Did you see all the other fights on there?
Yeah, I did. I saw Junior Dos Santos on there.
Yeah, he's fighting the Spangani.
Yeah,
there's Muhammad Mokaev versus Adrian
I was
Marat.
gonna say Mokaev, the guy that got banned from the UFC.
And then, I mean, I don't know many of these other people. I'm sure if Chris Avila, I seem to remember him doing something stupid. But yeah, it'll be awesome. The only thing that's concerning to me is they're all. Oh wait, no, there is five, like the Nate Diaz, Ronda Rousey, and Ngannou fights are all 5-minute rounds.
Okay. Oh yeah, Ngannou is on there too.
Which that 5 rounds probably helps out Diaz, I would imagine.
Lorenz Larkin was
Oh yeah.
a high-ranked UFC fighter at one point. He's going to fight Jason Jackson. They got another BKFC fighter on here, Jade Mason Wong, who has done very well in BKFC, and she's going to be fighting Alex Pereira's sister.
Oh. You know, BKFC is doing that right. They're allowing their fighters to go do other things. That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, why not? It's only going to bring more attention to them at this point. But yeah, I mean, I think they did a great job putting together a card with, you know, UFC fighters who can't compete anymore but still have name value, and, you know, some nostalgic fighters like Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano. Yeah, I think I stand by my statement that it has bigger star power than the White House card.
I mean, you don't got to convince me. I mean, you know how fond I am of Nate Diaz.
Yeah, as am I.
It's the guy that got me interested in all this stuff is Nate Diaz, because I just, you know, when it comes down to it, I like the fighters that run their mouth. I mean,
and he's one of the best at that.
he is the best at that. I mean, Strickland's also okay at it. Colby's getting worse at it.
I think Chael Sonnen's the best of all time.
Well, I mean, I wasn't around for that.
Yeah, he was so slick on the microphone.
I do enjoy looking into Chael's takes on things, because you can tell that he doesn't believe the shit he's saying for a minute.
Oh yeah, yeah. He wears being full of shit on his sleeve, and that's what I appreciate about him.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't care.
He'll make a great politician one day.
I know I always get mad when we talk about this, but Connor did kind of say again that he's back. Did you see that that post he made this week?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna read it, and then I have a question for you.
Okay.
Oh my God, I should have had this ready.
Unpreparedness. You're gonna make me waste more of my 1924 here while I wait for you to pull that up. It even sounds good when you pour it.
Man, he's got 46 million followers.
Jeez.
Okay, well, he probably took it down like he always fucking does. Bitch. Oh no, there it is. All right, Mr. Confidence returns to save fighting again. Call your grandma, Nanny. We did it. Watch and pay me. Fuck you, pay me. You fat Irish prick. You don't have my money. I put your brain to sleep. See ya in casinos after. The Mac loves ya. I got love for alls.
Okay.
Now, who is the fat Irish prick?
I would assume Dana White.
Is he Irish?
I think so.
Okay, and this is another thing of unpreparedness, but I just remembered I wanted to clip something. Dana had a bit of a slip last week where they were saying he basically said that Ian Gary, Conor McGregor is a fight, because the guy asked him, when are we coming back? When are you coming back to Ireland? We'd love to see Conor McGregor and Ian Gary. And he wasn't saying he would love to see them fighting. He was just saying, oh, we'd love to see those guys fight here, fight other people. And Dana responded, yeah, we're going to come back, but the Conor Ian Gary fight will not be here.
Oh, all right.
And then I see this, you fat Irish prick, and everybody says Dana, but Dana, he doesn't claim Irish heritage.
Yeah, I don't think so. So is he calling Ian Gary fat?
I don't know. You know, Conor, I mean,
I guess time will tell, but that's an interesting fight. I mean, Ian Gary's a big dude.
I mean, that'd be a great fight, though. I mean,
yeah. I mean, the buildup alone would be awesome.
You know, because Conor can't fight. Conor's he was so good at taking the moment and making it so big that the other guy would just falter, Jose
Yeah.
Aldo. Now he
Yeah.
can't fight that level of fighter right now. Like he can't fight right at the champion.
Yeah.
Ian Gary's in the discussion, but like Ian Gary seems to be one of the only guys that might be able to build that fight with him.
Yeah. I mean, the best option would have been Nate Diaz to fight Connor, but obviously that's not in the cards anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean Nate's getting like $10 million.
Good for him.
And I know he got screwed on that last fight, but I bet Netflix will pay their bill.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If they could pay 25 employees to follow around the garbage podcast
Yeah,
with a stack full of waivers, they could pay Nate Diaz.
Yeah, but I mean Ian Gary, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, let's just fucking fight
But
somebody.
I'll believe Connor's fighting again when it's on paper,
Oh, I mean, really, you should only believe it when you see him walking down the damn ring, because I mean he's been on paper twice, I think.
Yeah.
And poor Michael Chandler. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that Connor ruined his whole career without ever fighting him.
I mean, is on the White House card, so that'll be something cool. I mean, that's like your prize for waiting is here, go fight here and hope a drone doesn't come flying in before that fight makes the walk. But
yeah. Well, anything else?
Yeah, I got a snack. I forgot the.
Oh, yes. I've been
I
waiting.
have to tell you, I smelt this shit, and I am not looking forward to this.
Good. All right. So, in addition to the whiskey I gave Matt for helping me out at my business, I gave him a nice fresh jar of Vegemite. So, those of you who remember me tasting this a couple of months ago, I did not.
2 weeks ago.
No.
Yeah, it was the last time you did a show.
But I didn't try the Vegemite on that show. You're trying so hard to keep a stone face right now.
Oh.
You wanted to say it's not that bad, so bad.
I wanted to. Oh. Ugh. God, I wanted to like it.
You wanted to be like, it's not that bad. I'm going to have it on my breakfast tomorrow.
Yeah, I thought I would like it. And then I smelled it, and I'm like, okay, well, it's not looking good anymore. I thought I powered through that, but what the fuck is wrong with these people?
It's Satan's taint in a jar.
I mean, it's not even. God, my wife likes Limburger cheese, and it tastes better than this. It does not smell. This smells much better than Limburger cheese, but woo.
It's disgusting.
But man, that'll shock your system. Like maybe that's what it is. It gives them a pep in their step. I mean, smelling salts ain't got shit on that. Woo.
Yeah. Hey, maybe it gets them going in the morning.
Man.
Probably a good smear of that.
What the hell could we send America could we send to Mark Fellows to do that to him?
I don't think we have anything.
Horseradish? Would they eat horseradish? And
I don't know.
Horseradish is much better than that crap.
I love horseradish.
Oh, God.
See? And you thought I was being dramatic.
Oh, I definitely thought you were being dramatic, but that is really strong.
I mean, I was being a bit theatrical because I'm a performer.
Not me.
But
I was trying to be, but it just broke right through that.
It's so terrible.
It's bad. What'd you do with yours? Throw it away?
No, I still have it in the pantry. I'm going to have people try it when they come over.
Man, put some of that on Ariana's toast to see what she has to say about that.
Oh, God. She already has trust issues with me giving her weird foods.
Just tell her, hey, this doesn't taste that good, but maybe you'll like it. Don't try and trick her. God, it's bad.
My wife might like it. She
might like it.
She eats sardines for
The
breakfast.
sardines, I would love a sardine right now to get this taste out of my
I probably would have too after I ate that Vegemite.
mouth.
I don't
God.
mind the sardines, but like the aftertaste just lingers so long.
Yeah, it's the grease. I get the same way. I love corned beef with St. Patty's Day, but you just like smell it on you afterwards.
Yeah, it lingers.
I kind of this year decided I'm kind of over corned beef unless I figure out like a better way than the crap in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, if you smoke it, it's awesome.
Yeah, but that takes way too long.
Not really. Get a pre-cooked one, just throw it in the smoker, give it that smoky
No, but I
flavor.
did that last year and it didn't taste that.
Mm.
I don't know. If I'm getting the smoker out and starting from raw, I'm gonna do well, it is brisket, but I'm gonna do Texas barbecue instead of corned beef.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I should like corned beef more than I do, but I grew up eating my grandma's and I was forced to eat it every St. Patrick's Day. And it's just one of those things like when you're forced to eat something as a kid, you just when you're an adult, you don't choose to eat it.
I mean, I guess now that I think about it, I've had some corned beef at there's a place in Davie, Florida, off Sterling, if anybody's in the area called the Field, and it's an Irish pub. Man, you'd love this place. It got trees growing through the middle of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Their corned beef was awesome, but it was like, and I'm like, not anything I've ever had anywhere else. Like this, so you could eat with just a fork.
If you want a really good one around here, O'Keefe's in Clearwater is a really good Irish pub. Their food is great. They're one of the few places around here that pour a proper Guinness, which I know you're not a fan of, but we should go to O'Keefe's and you need to try like a proper Guinness.
I'm telling you, it's not. It's you know what? I would rather have this than Guinness.
Oh God, you're exaggerating now.
No, I'm not. One bite of cracker versus a big tall glass of Guinness. I would much. Well, see, that's the problem I have with Guinness is the taste, the aftertaste.
It's delicious.
Yeah, maybe it's some type. My German genes don't. It's like a encoded thing. How do you feel about sauerkraut?
I don't love it, but I'm not like a big cabbage fan. But I like other things that are similar. So if it's got like beets in it, like I like fermented beets.
Or kimchi?
Kimchi's okay.
Man, we can tell we ran out of shit to talk about.
We're talking about, and it's the sauerkraut hour here on MMA on the Rocks. All right, it's probably a sign we should call it a
That's
night.
it. It's time we wrap it up.
All right, that's all we got. Next time will be the next time, whenever that is. I don't know. We're
Next week.
unpredictable, folks.
I don't have any comedy coming up, so next week.
All right, let's do it next week. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Until next time. Cheers, everybody. Goodbye. Play the fucking music.